Did you not get in the room yet?
No.
Okay, well, you're gonna miss it. I'm gonna have to share my screen to you then.
Oh, what the hell? Where is it?
You'd have to search for staff. These are all being run by the refs today. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our first game. This is going to be PUMBA versus MOYAI. Well, MOYAI versus PUMBA, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose. Best of three, our first look at the group stage over on EU. And we have, for PUMBA, a Gdansk with your typical gun destroyer hunting setup. Note, one Gdansk is using Jersey Mike, the other is not because of the buffed Adrenaline Rush. On the other side, we've got a Gearing, who's your typical COTS build Gearing. We've got a San Martin, a Moskva with unique upgrade, a Des Moines with unique upgrade, and a Moskva with unique upgrade.
Who's
And
the
then
staff guy in charge?
Teo. And then finally, we have an Ohio, somewhat secondary build, and a Colombo with unique upgrade. Puddin, are you able to watch my screen, or you want me to continue your build, your ship?
Go through it.
Okay. So MOYAI is bringing with another Gdansk. This is with Jersey Mike. Harugumo no, not full 420, but mostly blaze it. We've got a Minotaur. I'm sure that's a radar Minotaur. It is indeed, with your typical Minotaur build. And there's our Montana with all into the heavy AP, as well as accuracy and all that good stuff. In Ohio with secondaries, but not manual secondaries. Interesting. In front of him is a San Martin, the usual build. Non-unique upgrade Moskva, opting for reload instead of accuracy and range buff that the unique upgrade gives. Another Jersey Mike Gdansk. And finally, there's a Marceau with Honore because of the buffed Adrenaline Rush. All right. Let's take a look at the overall setup. Both teams opting to fight for both sides of the cap, but PUMBA being the only team that seems interested, for now at least, in going to the B cap.
That's pronounced bacon.
Okay, that's true.
I know it's early. I found the room. I found why I didn't find a room, because he didn't put the teams on there.
Yep. It's okay. You'll be in for next one.
Yeah.
Now, early on, usually there's a whole lot of just chilling, waiting, that sort of thing.
Oh, let's see. We got 3 destroyers versus 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you have the early cap at chocolate.
All right. Confirmed today's drop is the green. So I'm wearing green polo for perfect. Okay, cool. So tomorrow I need to wear red. Don't let me forget. I need to wear red tomorrow. Good early cap for MOYAI. Of course, that's why you bring a Marceau. You got the speed. And you'll note how carefully the Gdansk is backing into the B cap. Why? Because usually the Moskva Island is right there. So as soon as he goes in, usually that triggers a radar. But that's not happening, and part of that is that Gdansk, of course, has radiolocation. His radiolocation is pointing at the Moskva, its closest enemy. And you can see that's over there versus the typical Moskva Island. That's probably why PUMBA's Gdansk felt comfortable enough backing into the cap.
Well, he probably would have backed in anyways, triggered a radar to reverse back into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, like, if you look at where he's at, he's set so he can run and duck behind the island and mostly escape with a lot of his HP intact. So he did a very cautious cap, which makes sense. PUMBA now putting a Moskva at the top of the B cap as well to ensure they can hold it.
I do like the way the MOYAI's Gdansk is taking apples.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to utilize island cover.
Yep, same exact idea. So if the radar gets triggered, which it just did from the enemy Gdansk, now he can pull forward and try to duck behind the island to block a lot of fire from, say, the Colombo, anything else that's to the north. That being said, Silver does lose his engines early. That always happens to me. As soon as I pop my engine boost, I typically lose my engines. Hate when that happens.
Well, I mean, luckily for him, he's not under continuous fire, so there's no reason to hit the repair key.
Yep.
You know, it's the whole point of Last Stand.
Exactly. Yep. So he's going to back into the cap. Now, the question is, does the San Martin have radar range? No. Just outside of radar range. Now, this is going to force the San Martin to move forward to try to radar. His radar is up right now. And that pushes him off the cap. Okay. Gdansk is... No, sorry. That was the Gdansk that was radaring, trying to catch Silver again. So that's two radars already used up here.
Right. What? If you wait a couple more seconds, Gdansk radar should be back up any moment now. I think the only thing that reloads faster on the Gdansk is between its torpedoes and radar, it's its radar.
Mm-hmm. Kind of funny how that works, huh? Oh, look at these San Martin torps. Nope. The engine brake will save Silver. Kind of funny how that works. And he does catch a glimpse on Pumba's Colombo. They brought the Colombo in.
Two torps, maybe?
Yep. They brought the Colombo in to support over at A, but unfortunately they didn't have the radar timed perfectly. So, Charge will take 2 torpedoes for his attempt to make something happen at A. Meanwhile, at B, nothing really going on. Gdansk trying to get in. Moskva sighted, so they know they can't get to B cap. Woo, look at this Pumba pushing their Ohio into A. It's a very aggressive decision, and he's going to get whittled down.
If only everybody could shoot at him. Oh, wait, they all are.
Well, see, and that's the problem. I cover this a lot with my replay analysis, too. You've got an Ohio that's in front, that's spotted. Moskva is spotted, but he's in the back. So that means 1, 2, eventually Ohio, 3, and even this Gdansk, 4 people will have arcs on this Ohio.
Well, that Gdansk was shooting at him.
Yep,
but
earlier.
Now the Ohio, is literally caught bow in, which is what you don't want to happen.
Mm-mm. Now, you know,
and San Martin is desperately trying to get those friction fires started.
Well, at the very least, you know by now he's definitely charged up his funny button. All right, here's the Ohio salvo. Let's see what happens. The Moskva blocks a good amount of that with his body. That's actually nice because Angel needs to back up, and he actually needs to cycle through at least another heal.
Yeah, but you're only supposed to play down, get down, Mr. President, for torpedoes.
True. Meanwhile, on the other side, Molecular Man has lost a large chunk of his hit point pool. Does manage to get away, but you'll see that MOYAI was able to grab the A-cap because they've got 2 destroyers plus Minotaur plus Montana. PUMBA only has really these 2 ships since the Colombo has decided to leave the area. Molecular Man has to wait a bit, 2 minutes before he can heal again.
But, I'm just curious, the Gdansk that got bacon, he's still sitting there. Why?
Yep. If you're going to overwatch it with a Moskva, then you can absolutely move the Gdansk someplace else. And it should go to A, frankly. But it didn't.
It should go to either one of the 2 caps. I would agree A, just because it's kind of where he's positioned at. But, you need to move it somewhere. Because you kind of got the Colombo who can shoot also whatever Moskva radars.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be down a destroyer somewhere because, you brought a cruiser instead of another DD. You know, so you got to utilize that firepower somewhere.
Right. Now we missed it, but Cursed Sufferings Des Moines got clobbered a little bit for his attempt to get it in behind this island. PUMBA really wants to grab C. They want to own it. Ichigo goes in and manages to get the cap despite all the resets. That was smart. Put him in there, get the cap. You know the Moss was too far back, so you know the Des Moines pushed the Moss back so the Gearing could grab the cap. Very smart decision making there. I'm not quite sure what's going on over at the B cap. Looks like both Gdansks are going to try to maybe beat up on the one. But that leaves... No, wait, Pumbaa's Gdansk is rotating too, so they're giving up on A altogether. San Martin has been told, you just need to go and die in the corner, and that's exactly what he's doing. As PUMBA decides to put more of their effort to B and C. Columbo's Inky is ready. Will he use it right away? Probably not. He does. Interesting.
Well, I mean, I would, just so you can put the fire out, get your heal going, make sure you get safe, preserve as much HP, because you do control 2 of the 3 caps.
Yep, it does buy you time.
Especially when the call has been to just, like, we've lost it. Like, they've acknowledged this. So, I mean, it's time to move on. And,
oof.
like...
First kill of the game. Marceau. It's the Des Moines. Mosfa radar. He moved up. Brilliant little firing angles there that they had on the Des Moines.
I mean, that's one of those spots where you go and you move back an inch, forward an inch. Oof. There goes the San Martin. That ties up the cruiser kills.
It does. Ohio gets that really clutch salvo seconds before the San Martin's funny button allows him to heal again. So,
I think this Marceau may be setting up for an assassination.
Yep.
Oh, they're proxy spotting each other.
Yep. And that's why he's doing that. He wants to see what's the gearing, what's his kind of orientation, where is he on the island and stuff. And that basically takes the gearing out of this battle. The gearing can't really do anything. The Marceau is still finding shots on the Ohio, which is kind of funny. Let's take a look at the Ohio salvo. Shooting the other Ohio. I was kind of hoping he was shooting the Mosfa, because I think he would have had a better chance, but I don't think he had a shot. Yep. Both MOYAI's Gdansks are south of B-Cap now.
I think MOYAI realized that, they could separate their Hiragumo Minotaur out a little bit.
At this point, they've won that cap, and they know it. Although the Haragumo got himself... He must have...
He was shooting a Columbo.
Yeah, okay. Well, Marceau assassinates the gearing. We figured that was coming.
Well, the Hiragumo is going to pay for his insolence, maybe. I mean, he's definitely low health.
He's definitely charged up his adrenaline rush. That's for sure.
But I don't know why you're that far separated from who you're supposed to be smoking. I don't know what that decision was. Like, I assume he's supposed to do the Minotaur?
I think that was the original plan, but I have a feeling that MOYAI is saying, okay, you go off by yourself, and then, you play games with the San Martin, and that's all you need to do. Just live and play games with him. And that frees up the Minotaur to go after one of the Gdansks, essentially, although he's decided to shoot at the Moskva and be detected. So the gig is up on that one.
And more importantly, he's broadside to the Moskva.
That only matters if the Moskva shoots AP, and what Moskva shoot AP, but they don't. Come on, they don't.
All of them do.
Ooh,
Well, I
Angel
mean,
Killer is
well,
quite low.
the interesting is the Hiraguma's low enough to where the San Martin can take him.
Absolutely. So now the Harguma has to really play cautious here. It's the San Martin's detection. I have that 9.1. So the Harguma will have about 2 to 3 kilometers ish of room to play with, but you can see his positioning on the minimap. He's staying very far back now.
He's waiting for the Montana to commit, so he doesn't have to worry about Monty guns.
The San Martin is, absolutely. All right, there goes the Ohio. We figured that was coming. Mosfa's about to get farmed out by the Minotaur and Montana combo. And of course, we're not paying attention to the score. And there's our first win of the day. And I'm going to be way too far away from getting my first death pick. Oh well. MOYAI wins on points. Wow. All right, next up is going to be Sleeping Giant. Go back to the best of 3 screen.
Well, I mean, it's a typical game for COTS. Everything happens in the last real 5 minutes.
And that's the tough part for us, is a lot of times we're looking at ships that are low or are keeping our focus on that. You're in the game now, so I can stop streaming to you.
Oops.
The ref is now saying we've got until 22 after, so that's 5 minutes to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and run the commercial break now, and I need to snooze the commercial break over on live. Cool.
I mean, you can see the advantage to bringing 4 destroyers. You typically will get a cap early because you just have so much more extra.
Mm-hmm.
The disadvantage obviously is overall HP pool. You know, the other team typically has the extra cruiser to make something happen. Unfortunately, Puma wasn't. Like, MOYAI came out with a good game plan. We're just gonna ignore Bacon. Like we'll deal with it later. We'll secure a flank, and then that's when we're gonna deal with trying to get the middle cap.
Well, and I think one of the decisive parts of that last game was the fact that MOYAI grabbed the C cap early, thanks to the Marceau, and because of that, they really stalled PUMBA because they held it for so long, and then they still managed to go to A and grab A because they had the destroyer advantage, which ultimately meant that PUMBA was forced to go for B and a cap that they were fighting back and forth for, but not really holding on decisively. I think the big problem for PUMBA was moving that Des Moines up, right? Because as soon as they moved him up, he's going to live or die on that island. There's no leaving that island at that point. So
I mean, the only way he gets out is Moskva radar's down, the Gearing's sitting there with smoke ready to get him out.
right.
But that literally means you've now got 2 ships out of the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I kind of feel like there might have been a little bit of a lack of communication there with trying to get that smoke going and everything. We'll have to see.
I mean, I think the other thing was the Gdansk that got the B cap just literally sat there like all game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should have been able to recognize, like you say, with the RPF, there's nothing here. We need to rotate this guy off.
Yep. Well, while we're in between things, a quick couple notes. One, thank you very much for the sub, Stalwart. I appreciate you for doing that. Of course, Wolf Tiger 65 with the follow. Backme Dove Putza with the follow. Alando 25. Acer George, Pisco 71, Vic Beer, Neograft, 58 Chef, and Beta. Thank you all for your follows. We've got 2 minutes until our next set game. Remember, everybody, if you are looking to get your drops, now's a good chance to double check that you are actually getting your drops. I just took a look myself, and I'm not. Why? Partly because I was probably lurking over on my rerun channel and seeing how things are going over there. So what I just did myself is I closed all of my Twitch windows, all of them, on my rerun laptop and here, and I'm going to leave them off until the end of this next game. Now, I know many of you don't maybe have that ability because you're trying to, obviously watch and catch the action. Remember, I am streaming over on YouTube, so you can always catch the action over there. Or a suggestion, wait until this matchup is over, this best of 3 is over, because like I said, there's probably going to be a 20-minute delay before we get started with the next one. And that's when you can cut for 5 minutes and start it up again. Trust me, I've done all this COTS drop stuff for years. I got it down, all right? Both teams are readying up. And so I think we're going to be sending it shortly.
Well, sooner's better than later.
Oh, totally. Completely agree. Let's take a look over on Discord, see if there's anything in a channel or two that I'm watching.
Alrighty.
All right, let's go. Game 2. All right. Now, I just closed my stream for a couple minutes, and I'm going to start it back up and see if I get progress. I am now getting progress, I think, on my COTS drop. Yes, I am.
I don't know why Twitch's got to make this so complicated.
Yeah, well, switch. So this is a best of 3, y'all. This might be the end of PUMBA, for now, at least. All right, here we go, everybody. Welcome back to our next game. This is PUMBA in the green and MOYAI in the red. MOYAI has a 1-game lead in this best of 3. PUMBA's not out for the day, though. If they lose this matchup 0-2 or even 2-1, they're going to end up fighting at least 2 more teams today. So PUMBA on Sleeping Giant is bringing with them 2 Alvaro de Bizans. Now that's an interesting pick. We haven't seen that much of this ship in King of the Sea. So far, we've got a Gdansk with Jersey Mike. We got a typical COTS build gearing. Now for those of you guys who are new to the tournament, COTS build gearing means you go all in on the smoke, you go all in on the concealment with the unique upgrade, and you go all in on the torpedoes. And of course, you have Adrenaline Rush, and a lot of times we see them going with Swift and Silence, and that's important because it allows the gearing to get places quicker that normally it wouldn't be able to do. Okay, so anyways, cruiser-wise, we have San Martin, we have Moscow with unique upgrade, we have Des Moines with unique upgrade, and then we have an Ohio with some secondaries, and a Colombo, Cincinnati on the Colombo, and one of the Does or Halsey on the Ohio. Puddin', what do we have to the south?
To the south, we have a wolf pack of Gdansk, Marcel heading to Donut. The builds, for the most part, really haven't changed.
Nope, it's Abanyu and the Marceau.
All special captains there. Following them is the Loria, aka the PR Sync. San Martin, typical San Martin. I would say the Loria is typical battleship build there, like survivability for the most part, and a Moskva. That is reload. I mean, I can understand the reload over to unique for that. Over at Apples/Bacon, we have a Moskva that's probably gonna sit typical where you see Moskva for clan battles and COTS, looking towards Bacon. There's an Ohio between both of those, and then the San Martin to San Martin Apples, which he's countering the Gehring Des Moines combo. So I have a funny feeling Moya's not going to fight very hard for apples.
No.
Just a weird thought.
So a couple things about MOYAI's strategy here. One is they've got 3 destroyers. It's what we call the hit squad, the gang squad, whatever you want to call it. Their job is to grab the cap quickly and then continue on and find a lone destroyer, preferably like a gearing, and assassinate it. The Gdansks, of course, have the radar to negate the smoke of a gearing, for example. And the Marceau has the speed as well as the gunnery to be able to take it down pretty quick. All the torpedoes into sea now. There's the first radar from World Spawn's Gdansk.
More importantly, the Colombo got spotted and had to use an Inky right away.
Yeah, because he got spotted at a very bad position. He's like fully broadside to the south.
Well, now Moya can see that there's a San Martin over here. They also know the Colombo is over here.
Oh, big kill there.
Well,
I saw that one. I was looking at the other torpedoes. But Gazkol Thraka with a huge kill with his Alvaro de Bazan torpedoes. Now, these were radiolocation guided torpedoes. So, in other words, his radiolocation, for those of you guys who don't understand, radiolocation always points to the nearest target. At first, it's pointing towards D. Okay? And then it changes. And then it starts pointing this way. And then it moves to this way. And then it moves to this way. So, what he did was wisely surmise, okay, with the speed at which D was capped, there's got to be 2 destroyers, and it started getting capped very quick. So the Marceau has to be the one that capped it first. So that's the Marceau I'm tracking. So I'm going to luck chuck torps because I'm going to expect the Marceau to pop out right there. Brilliant use of radiolocation to guide your torpedoes.
fun fact for those of you who don't know, RPF used to point at the actual ship. Now it just points in the grid square.
Correct. So it's not the most accurate, but it's still accurate enough to give you a general idea of where to look.
Now, they still delayed them on getting CCAP, and that kind of hurts Moya. Because now they're down a destroyer, which means PUMBA can actually just send somebody straight at one of their other DDs and just trade and be perfectly fine.
Well, you can see MOYAI is being a little bit aggressive here with this Moskva. They know that they are down a ship over here, but they're not going to allow PUMBA to just walk into the CCAP. As a matter of fact, World Spawn is in a position to deny that CCAP gain. And the Marceau Silver has gone all the way up the 10 line to really prevent San Martin from feeling like he can run away. The key is going to be the Loria. What's the Loria going to do here?
W.
Okay. But I mean,
But
like, is he going to smash the San Martin?
I was going to say, over on the other side of the map, the Moskva that was pointing towards B is now looking towards A. They've rotated them over to A, knowing that they are down a destroyer and they need to make something happen somewhere.
Yes. Yes, on this map, we typically see a Moskva and a Moskva on either side of what we call the Thunderdome. But what's nice about just sending one Moskva is they put him here originally, and now they're moving him to this position so that they can use him to clear out the A-cap, potentially. Now, with these guys moved up, you can see radar coverage is pretty much all of C-cap. These are pre-sighted positions. These teams practice for days to make sure that they have everything set up. And speaking of set up, hello, Mr. San Martin. How would you like some torpedoes? Oh, never mind. All skill and zero luck for the San Martin right there.
Skill? But,
whoa, that's a brown
he
alert.
He had his heater up and he decided to move way too late.
Yes. Well, he was reversing, so he had to switch from reverse to forward. That takes a while.
Yeah, but I still think he did it a little late.
Well, regardless, he manages to save the ship. Let's back out, and we can see the Alvaro de Bazan trying to smoke up the San Martin so the San Martin can radar the Marceau. Colombo's taking a lot of torpedoes right there. Charge is forced to make Inky again, but it might not be enough. Yep, the Loria finishes him off. I told you the Loria was going to be the key to this side.
No, it was plenty of smoke. Just, it killed him. Right? We all know smoke kills. Ooh, the destroyer's coming under heavy fire. The ship I can't pronounce.
Marceau or Alvar de Bazan.
Yeah, that one.
The one that just died. There you go.
Yep.
All right.
Ship to be named later.
MOYAI up a ship now, saying, well, that's okay that you guys have 2 caps and we only have 1. We'll just simply kill more of your ships, and then we'll just walk into the caps afterwards. MOYAI, though, their San Martin is quite low. What is going on with Furina's Bakery? He did not... either doesn't have his funny button charged, or he doesn't want to use his funny button, opting instead to sit for 2 minutes to wait for his heal. And then Pichabra in the Ohio is... sometimes we like to call this donating, because it's like, why are you pushing? He's gonna go and aggressively find the Gearing's torpedoes.
Well, it's better than passively finding them.
I suppose. So he's forced to turn to try to dodge those torpedoes. Might make him a little bit too broadside to Angel Killer's Ohio. Let's find out. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What?
Somebody's pulling over for Wendy's. It's a little early for the frosty and french fries.
Okay, and who would that be?
The Ohio at Apples for PUMBA.
Angel Killer?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going bow into Picha, but...
well, no, he just beached.
yeah. Nice chunking there. The Gearing really needs to get on the side here. He can continue to dump torpedoes in Picha's Ohio. That'll work. And he's going to open up with his guns? Question mark?
I find it interesting that the San Martin isn't trying to charge his funny button on the bow end reversing Ohio.
Yeah. He's staying way the heck back. Of course, he knows how low he is. Des Moines also quite low. Ah, that's why they moved Pisha up. They moved Pisha up so that he will guaranteed spot the Des Moines. Proxy spot is 2 kilometer. Actually, no, he's right outside of proxy range. Interesting. See? Yeah, it looks like he is.
I mean, this is an interesting battle between Moskva and Des Moines. The Moskva's got the HP advantage. Des Moines has a slight advantage for DPM, but that's not going to last with multiple ships shooting you.
Well, and that's why you can see here they're calling the Gearing in, because Curse Suffering realizes he's not within proxy spot. He was being spotted by the Moskva because he kept shooting. Probably would have been better suited just to go dark, but he goes dark the hard way, and that's another huge kill for MOYAI.
Well, they're still being very aggressive at Chocolate. MOYAI is smart enough to understand they can't really move their Moskva more forward because the other Moskva will have its broadside. Alright, and the only safe place for the Moskva to go forward would be into that other channel, bow into the other Moskva.
Well, you say that, but Gorduba's moving forward right now. I think they're, you know what I think they're doing, Puddin? I think they're setting him up to use the final torpedo on Angel Killer's Ohio. Trying to get him in position to kill the Gearing, which is going to happen right here, at least radar. Right, and then if the Ohio, if Angel Killer commits too much farther forward, they'll just full send Gorduba and have him ram the Ohio.
He's got to be careful because I've been caught up on that little lip there that he's now just passing.
Yep. For those of you guys who might feel like this game looks a little different, it's because we have a mod I'm running called the Transparent Water, and you can see right here, you can see the edge that Puddin's talking about. It bumps out just a tad beyond where the surface looks. So it can, if you've ever been in a game and you felt like the island reached out and grabbed you, that's what's happening. You're hitting a piece of water that you don't see, or a piece of land that you don't see under the water. Well, Angel Killer's Ohio has decided to reverse, and he's just going to die there. Gorduba's moving up to get the kill on him. Go ahead, Puddin.
The other thing is, like, while you can clearly see the like where the cliff, I guess, where it goes under.
Mm-hmm.
The hitbox does sometimes extend out from that, so
Yes. This is
it's not a
something.
100% guaranteed thing
This is
that
something that
you won't beach.
right. It's something that Wargaming has been working on, and perhaps part of the reason why we haven't seen a lot of new maps added for a while. When they added submarines, they had to completely redo the underwater stuff because if you think about it, before subs, there was nothing underwater. It didn't really matter. It was just murky stuff. But now you've got subs, you got to add the visibility up and down, that sort of deal, and you got to redo all the hitboxes. So that's something that over time gets fixed as MOYAI does kill the Mosfa with that Loria. And grab the sea cap.
Well, Gdansk's gonna go down in 20 seconds. Game's gonna be over, or sooner. Oh,
There you
look,
go.
or sooner happened.
Or sooner just happened, so I need to hurry up and get in position for a death pick since I missed the last one. Here we go. Whew, that was close. Trying to write down on my notepad and everything like that the winner so that we can move on. So congratulations to MOYAI winning 2-0. I'll go ahead and mark that. Hit apply, move to the winner screen. And now comes the fun part, y'all. We got to go find another game.
MOYAI won that one.
MOYAI won that one, correct. So, chat,
Oh,
let me go to the, let me show you all. Which one do I want to show you guys? I got to get to it. Group stage. Go. Tournament. All right, so here we are. Here's the current standings. Them, AAO, TWA, Ortis, and Warboats are up one game. Also, MOYAI hasn't been reported yet. So right now, we have to wait to see if there will be a Game 3. If there is not, then we will move on from there. But these are all the teams that are fighting. And we have up to 40 minutes before we get to our next game, depending.
40 minutes.
Well, our next scheduled match is in 40.
Oof.
Let's see. Puddin', do me a favor. Can you go into Yo Boy versus Arona training room? That's Yo Boy versus Arona. PSC is staff. Just search staff in the PSC.